Hi guys, let's watch this interesting video from Soko Films. Get ready for an intense debate as a young Christian faces off against a confident atheist. In less than 10 minutes, the Christian presents powerful arguments that leave the atheist speechless. Stay tuned for a debate you won't forget. Watch as faith and logic collide in this epic showdown.
So I just want to establish the deity to which you worship and what's your framework. I just want to establish that so we can have a further discussion.
Okay, cool. So I will start off by saying I'm very much so a universalist. Okay?
So do you believe that there's one path and each religion leads into that one path?
I don't think so.
So universalist in what sense?
I'm in the sense that we utilize philosophy, our minds, to come to the understanding of our universe and how it came into being. Correct?
So you're saying that our deities are almost like the fill in the God's gap fallacy, whereby we just kind of make it up, it's mind dependent. Our deities fill in the gaps to which we do not know about, and it's almost the answer to which we're seeking.
Maybe some religions or cultures are like that, whereas other cultures, they come to the first cause or the first principle.
Well, that would be
name that thing God.
Because again, I'm a presuppositionalist, so again, my framework is built upon this presupposition that Christianity is true.
Yeah.
So I would agree with you that our first principle, our metaphysical framework, is God, and then we build off that presupposition. Now, everyone has this paradigmatic circularity, these assumed axioms or this assumed deity. But what's the justification, what's the explanatory force which this deity poses? So, for example, do you believe in a God or do you believe in the spiritual realm?
Okay, so for our first principle is knowing. It's called ma'at, to know. So we try our very best to stay away from beliefs because beliefs infer doubt, and we don't want to be in a position of ignorance and doubt. We want to be in a position of what can we know? So we study the universe to figure out what's the principles behind certain things that we do know. So we don't start off from belief.
Okay, so in terms of your belief, every belief goes under paradigmatic circularity. Every atheist, every theist, every deist has to have this circularity at the paradigmatic level. So in terms of your belief and the way you're invoking the word, everyone has a belief that their worldview is true. So aside from that, so we would call this like hinge epistemology. There's a web of contingent ideas upon one hinge. Your hinge would be that you for certain know this principle. So what is the principle? Could you just go into your belief?
I'll say this again. Definitely not a belief.
But everyone has a belief. Everyone has circularity. Everyone assumes or presupposes their worldview. So we could disagree on the terms, but I just want to see what you believe or what you believed or you know to be true.
You believe that everybody presumes that their worldview is correct and right.
Yeah.
Yeah? For me, I do not assume that my worldview is right. I come to the conclusion that as much as I do know things, I realize that I don't know anything.
Is that known for certain?
It is my path to go on to investigating to come to something that I know for certain. So therefore, I'm not starting on the form of belief. I'm starting at, who was it, Descartes? Blank slate, rasa tabula. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Yes,
my issue with that is it kind of falls into an infinite regress of certainty.
Right.
So in order to establish subjectivity, you must make an objective truth claim that is true. So you saying that I do not know something for certain, that is known for certain. It's a self-refuting worldview. So you must establish an objective truth claim that you cannot know with any possibility all truths. But that is a truth in and of itself.
Rewind that.
So in order to establish subjectivity, you must make an objective truth claim that that's the case. For example, if we were to take the moral relativist route, whereby morals are subjective, it's an objective truth that morals are relative, correct?
Correct.
So in you invoking that you do not know anything to be true, that is a true statement. You see, that's self-refuting.
I got baffled here with my man like doing baboon. Let me get you. You're saying based upon me saying that I know nothing, is self-refuting because
You know that you know nothing.
I know that I know
That is an
nothing.
objective truth claim that you're invoking in the statement.
Okay, cool.
And again, when you make that statement, you're presupposing the laws of consistency. You're making a universal truth claim that I do not know anything for certain. Now that's presupposing yourself, that you exist. That's presupposing consistency. That's presupposing the law of logic. And that's making an objective truth claim. So not only is it presupposing, begging the question, you're also committing a self-refuting worldview whereby you know one thing to be true whilst claiming you know nothing to be true.
My brother, you got me there. Well done. Gabs, I don't think you heard that. I don't think you heard that. That was powerful, you know. All right, cool. Let's proceed.
Okay.
Let's proceed.
So
I'll give you that. 1-0.
Okay, 1-0.
1-0.
Okay, let's just see how far we go. So what would be your response to that, or do you want to move on?
I want to move on.
Okay, so I just want to establish that I've been learning about hinge epistemology, and I would find that everyone has a hinge, one contingent which allows for contingent objects to exist. So for example, we start our first principle. Our first principle allows to ground these concepts, and which causes a web of contingent things which ultimately fall into this one uber hinge. So my uber hinge would be that God exists, the Christian paradigm is true, and it can ground all these concepts to which I appeal to. So your belief,
One hinge.
Yeah.
That's multiple.
it's an uber hinge that the Christian paradigm is true.
Okay.
It's a condition.
It's condition on
it's
all
a
those
pre.
things.
It's a
Okay.
precondition which grounds these, like logic, for example.
Okay. So that's your starting point.
Yeah.
Go on. Lay an argument. I want to hear something.
Okay, so I'm gonna pose, obviously, because are you a theist, a deist, like, or what type of supernatural do you believe in?
I don't hold on to a supernatural itself.
So
I think that
do you
it's
just believe we're
supernatural
spirit? So are you a spirit? Because you said you're a spiritualist. So do you believe in spirit?
So, Brother Soko, JC, you know, put that appellation upon me that I'm an African spiritualist.
Yes.
I don't think I hold on to that as such, but for lack of a better term that most people are familiar with is African spiritualist. But rather, I would say that I deal with Kemetic philosophy and Greek philosophy, but mainly African philosophy, specifically Kemetic philosophy.
So I've got a question, and this is for the Muslims that are watching. Do you feel that Christianity has been stolen Greek theology? Because that's a common claim that we make, and obviously that's stolen from Greek philosophy. I'm just curious.
No.
Okay, that's just for my own.
Yeah,
it's a
no.
personal question.
No.
Okay, so let's continue. So, would you say that you believe in the spirit, but you do not believe in the supernatural God? You're not theist.
So I don't believe in it.
Okay, so would you say that you're more on the lines of a agnostic or an atheist?
More on the lines of an agnostic.
Okay, so do you affirm logic is mind independent or mind dependent?
Mind dependent.
I'm cooking him, by the way. You
No,
found
bro, this young one is.
He's on it.
I'm telling you, yeah. The way I have not been debating, I've not been discussing these topics, and I haven't been reading. I'm like, I'm rusty. I'm rusty.
Yeah.
But I'm loving this because this is like.
Okay, so what did you say, mind dependent or mind independent?
Yeah, mind dependent.
Okay, so independent.
Yeah.
So is it an objective truth? For example, would you affirm classical logic, the law of excluded middle, the law of identity, and the law of non-contradiction?
For the time being, I'm going to say yes.
Okay. So what would be your justification for them existing?
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know.
So this argument is posed with a lot of Eastern Orthodox Christians, and it's a comparing of paradigms. It's not simply positing your worldview's false, therefore yours is wrong, therefore I'm true. No, but it's simply saying which one has the explanatory power, which one can actually complement these topics and concepts to which we are grounding them in. Sorry, I've bamboozled because everyone's here.
Yeah.
So my God has the explanatory force to ground these transcendental concepts. Therefore, my God is a necessary being in all possible worlds. Because I'm affirming modal logic. I affirm possible worlds. My God is necessary in all possible worlds because it grounds and complements these categories.
Cool. Keep going, man. Keep spitting.
I'm just simply inquiring to your epistemic justification for appealing that these concepts actually exist. Because, for example, when you made this statement originally, that I know nothing to be certain to be true, that's presupposing the self, that you exist. That's presupposing the law of consistency, that this principle is universally true, that you will know nothing to be certain anytime, any place. That's consistency, and that's presupposing logic. So what is your grounding for these concepts?
Jesse, I don't know, man. Oh no, I need to be tagged in. Someone tag me in. What are you saying? You're gonna leave me to drown?
Sure, time.